When you think of villains in JoJo, the first thing that comes to mind is their stands and their abilities. Whenever you think of Funny Valentine, you instantly think of D4C's interdimensional hijinks. But since the most recent Part Nine's villain, hasn't been fully revealed yet, this will be my prediction on what their stand and their abilities will be. Now, there are there is a fact that in JoJo, every Joestar that uses something to beat their villain becomes what the villain uses in the next part to pose a new challenge to the next Joestar. An example being in part 7, Johnny uses the natural law of the infinite spin to beat Valentine's dimension hopping ability. And in part 8, Toru uses the natural law of calamity to pose a new challenge for Part 8 Josuke. This is a turn force. This in turn forces Josuke to beat Toru with a bubble that is infinitely close to nothing, basically a non-existent bubble. And this non-existence will most likely be used in Part Nine's villain. Now, this will be my placeholder stand and stand user with names and concepts. This can very well change in the actual manga. Now, going off what we just discussed, the Part 9 main villain's power will have something to do with non-existence. So this is my stand concept for it. The stand is called Black Hole Sun, and it has the ability to treat something as if it doesn't exist. Its only activation condition is that the user has to purchase something to use its power. Imagine this. Jodio and his group finally found the main villain of Howler Co., Niente Howler, standing in front of a street vendor. Charming Man pulls out a gun or something and fires 2 shots at him, but Niente completes a purchase, and the bullets phase right through him, as if they didn't exist. But for a quick glimpse, Jodio had sawn it. The man's stand. This stand, naturally, is one of the most powerful ones in the series, topping even the likes of D4C and Wonder of You. And having the main protagonist be a Howler is only logical, as Howler Co. is being set up to be the opposing organization of this part, similar to the Rock Humans and the President's Party. The first name I decided on was Niente, the Italian word for nothing, similar to how Aka in Italian is the word for H. But with all this thought behind the villain, one also has to ask, how will Jodio be able to beat it? Unlike the other 2 alternate villains, Valentine and Toru, they both had one way around their stand abilities, one way to be beaten, an infinite rotation and a non-existent bubble. But how can you beat a stand that treats everything you throw at it as if it doesn't exist? Well, I have a theory. I believe, similar to Johnny's infinite damaging nails and Josuke's infinitely non-existing bubble, Jodio will also evolve his stand to use the power of infinity, but not in the same way as the other 2. I believe in order to beat something that makes other things non-existent, one has to make something infinitely exist, which is where Jodio comes in. He will have to find a way to access the infinite spin and make his raindrops produced by November rain exist infinitely. Because how will you treat something as if it doesn't exist if it exists infinitely? Now, this theory does come with its flaws, of course. Like, how does something exist infinitely? How will Jodio learn about spin? And my answer is, I really don't know. Even though I've put a lot of thought into this theory, it definitely has some loopholes. I would like you to fill it in the comments. Anyways, in conclusion, overall, even though my theory definitely got out there a bit, I believe that some of it will be true. The main villain will have something to do with non-existence, and Jodio will definitely be able to use spin at the end of the part. But until the part gets more developed, all we can do is wait and see. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all later.